Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready. Does this sound like a seizure? We were traveling in a red-eye flight. Around 3 hours into the flight, he was watching a movie with some scary sounds, and he got scared with a scene, and he stopped watching the movie. Then later, he told me there's something wrong with my lip. He kept looking at me for a few seconds. He responded back to me, "What?" When I asked him what was going on, then he tried to told me. I can't talk, but I could not understand what he was saying. Like he said, trouble forming words. Then he punched himself in the chest and he told me I'm okay. Then he told me this happened to him before at school. He was able to sleep the rest of the flight. If I recall back when this happened, I did not see anything happening with his lips. I did not see shaking or twisting, but he was clearly feeling something. When we arrived, I heard he called his brother and makes a strange sound. His brother was laughing at him. Then I called him to get his attention, and he turned to me, and he had the same look like what happened in the airplane, and he responded back with saying, "What?" And he started doing a says raping sound. I'll say rapping sound.
I say rapping.
Yeah, he started doing a sound and drooling a good amount of saliva. Then he had trouble speaking again. Once he was okay, I asked him some questions. He asked some questions. He told me that this has not happened to him at school. It happened to another kid. But he can't give me more details. He told me it was in the right side of his lips only, and that it was hard for him to move his arms. I asked his brother what happened. That was so funny, and they told me that the brother made a cracking sound and he was doing something weird with his teeth, and his lips were shaking a lot on the right side. We did a 72-hour EEG, and it was abnormal, but seizures recorded. He was diagnosed with focal epilepsy. I'm still in denial, wondering if this is just anxiety and exhaustion. I feel like I'm going crazy overthinking this. He is 9 and it has not happened again, but we started medication based on doctor's recommendations on what he saw on the EEG and events. Does this sound like a seizure? I say, yeah. I mean,
Sounds like they already got
remember.
their proof on the EEG.
I can't
Yeah, they
compare
got
mine to
proof,
his
I mean.
because I don't exactly remember, but that sounds like a seizure if I had to think about it. Because there was a video also posted where some guy, like, his lip was shaking and the side of his face was shaking. So that's what makes me think that what she's asking about is a seizure.
Yeah, I guess sometimes people just want to know what it looks like, and they think the seizure chat is the right place for us to describe it to them. But just another hint at what people don't realize when you're gone, when you're in it, you don't know what you look like.
Right.
Yeah. So when I get a tiny one, guys probably can't see, but the right side of my face gets really red. So a lot of times you can't tell, and it sounds like they got an EEG. I assume it was abnormal. You want to like know what happened, especially if it's your kid, but your kid probably can't explain it that well. It sounds like he actually explained it pretty well for however old he is. So yeah, just keep him describing it. It's probably the only way you're going to understand.
And
And
get an
recording.
answer.
As soon as they can, there you go.
Yeah. Nanny cam. It works. It's been proven. Anyhow, I'll move forward. It says aura without a seizure. I have focal seizures, mesial-temporal lobe sclerosis, and non-epileptic spells. I randomly feel euphoric, distracted, numb in my mouth and hands, and like I'm floating, disconnected. It seems like it can last a while, but nothing follows. Is this an experience for anyone else? Thanks. I haven't been able to explain what my auras have been like. Someone explain auras, and have you had an aura without a seizure? I think the question is. Go ahead,
The
Em.
euphoria, yeah, I think that's actually part of it, but I don't know if you guys can differentiate between an aura and actually when it's happening, but yeah, the euphoria definitely that's part of it.
I will say the first year I was seizure free is that I did have the focal, not the aware seizures, and I would have auras. I had only quite a little bit. I think I only had 4 out of the 10 months. To me, it just felt like I was gonna tip over and fall. But then when that didn't happen, I felt like a fast relief. So that's the closest thing I can think can feel like a aura. And the only reason why I know for sure it was an aura is because I felt that for 2 years before I got diagnosed. Because I told my neurologist, I was like, hey, I have this feeling. It kind of felt like deja vu, but it felt more like almost like a panic attack. Do you think that got something to do with it? And she was like, yeah, those are actually seizures. And I was like, what? And sometimes I try not to beat myself up about it because something told me I probably should have went to the doctor. But I also was in the middle of getting my MBA, so
Don't beat yourself up, Courtney, because you don't know.
that's one thing I am
Don't
working
beat
on.
yourself up, hon.
I'm trying to work on that because there's some things I'm like, damn it, if I got to it sooner, but I can't do that with everything, right? I have to constantly remind myself that.
It takes a bit it takes a bit because you're going to have to come in through like a denial phase, and then it's like, I think Kate said it earlier, you're going to have to learn how to accept it. And for those of us, which I don't know how many of us are, who were diagnosed as children or teens, I should say, I think the path is different than those of us who were diagnosed later in life, because it's a different way. Like, it's a complete upheaval in life for those diagnosed later in life, whereas those diagnosed as teens pretty much had to adjust through it while they're going through it, you know.
I was gonna say for the focal seizures court, I've been taking B12 by Nature's Made. They've been working, like for real, like working. Like I have not had a focal in a while now.
Wait, focal, which ones? Like just the focal or the focal impaired awareness ones?
I haven't had either because my focal unawares, I pretty much wander off.
What?
And my focal awares, I pretty much just like staring at stuff, and then there's people talking to me, and I can't really make out what they're saying, and I can't really pay attention to what they're saying because I'm usually stuck attention on something else, and I can't wonder why, and I can't wonder why I can't hear what they're saying. It's like being in a stadium when everyone's talking, you can't tell what no one's saying. That's how it's like.
Oh,
And it's
wow.
like in a stadium, you're paying attention to the game. It's so interesting. You can't take your eyes off the game. Somebody could be saying your name next to you, but for some reason, that's what my focal awares are like. It's where I'm fully there. And if I'm staring at you when it starts, I'm staring at you the whole time. But if I'm staring at something else, like the chair across my room, and you start talking on my right, that chair has my attention until this is over with.
I will say, I am taking the B complex vitamin, but I didn't know B12 was something to consider. But also recently I found out taurine is one. And then last time I was seizure free, I was also taking NAC. So that's something to consider too. I don't know if you all heard of NAC. Yes, we've heard of it, right? No, Kate, you're supposed to say.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it. So
I'm still looking up taurine.
yeah, I've heard of taurine.
Oh, okay, it's
Haven't
an amino
taken
acid.
it, but I thought they put that in like Red Bull and Monster. What's that about? Talk to me
Not
about
killing
that.
yourself by drinking Red Bull and Monster just to get that one amino acid.
No, that's because it helps with brain processing, like your thoughts. It kind of like it's found in like taurine. I know eggs is one, I think beef. So heavy taurine levels, just amino acids in our brain. We know how that goes. But yeah, taurine is one that's really help with like enriching thoughts. So I'm trying to get better about taking that. And that's another thing. I have an issue with taking my supplements consistently because I'm working on this in therapy, y'all. But I need to express it because I know y'all will help me hold myself accountable. Is I don't want to take anything because I don't want to be dependent on anything. So
I didn't want to be dependent on it either. But then they're gummies, so they taste good, and then they've been working. So
half the problem
it just kind of works out like that. It's like they're good and it's working. So
yeah, okay. Well,
maybe you could tackle that by not going 100%. Don't hold yourself accountable for taking every recommended supplement and dose on time, and that feels overwhelming. What I did was compromise by sacrificing, maybe that one multivitamin, but don't skimp on the AEDs and that other one, that Carbitrol or whatever that one's called,
yeah, I
benzos.
my issue is even the folic acid given. Like I feel like I'm obligated to the medicine, but I also think that there needs to be a certain level of obligation for additional care. And of course, when we were talking about that whole trauma thing, I couldn't depend on anyone beyond myself when I was younger, right? Like, so I wanted to have a strict limit on what I could do to take care of myself. So that's like the part of the issue, right? So I take a B complex for sure, but I'm gonna look into more B vitamins, just a little bit, omega-3s, and I use cod liver oil and iron and vitamin D and some probiotics I try to take consistently.
the thing is about all those, I don't really like taking pills. So that's why the gummies have worked, because they're different. And I've seen some of these different vitamins and stuff, they have gummies. I suggest trying the gummies because I don't like taking a lot of pills. And like I said, these are fruity and you also like the taste. And then if they're doing something and they taste good, that always helps for me.
Yeah, the gummies, not so much. It's not that I don't like taking it. I just don't want to have to.
I mean,
And
you could rationalize it by convincing yourself that you spent money on this. If you took the step to fit it in the budget and spent your money on it, don't let it go to waste.
okay, that is a great
That
and
doesn't
terrible
help.
idea at the same time. Thank you.
And keep your records. I mean, if anything, by the time you get to the end of that 30 days, you tried it, you can have your own data to prove whether or not it was worth it. And that can be, where you decide what your next step is.
That is really helpful because I'm like reestablishing what the motive is. That's actually a really good idea because I'm struggling because I don't want to be like, oh, this again. What if it doesn't work? Actually, it didn't work because that one time I took it one time. How do I know it works? Like, y'all know I know better.
And if it
Also,
was a decade ago, that's what got me back on the Keppra.
right. So I'm trying, y'all. Also, Pookie, what's your shirt?
Kepra.
It's an older guy. I don't exactly know what he's like dabbing, I guess.
I thought so. How you didn't know that before putting it on?
Because that's another one of his signatures. You'll see plenty of other meetings on the recordings.
Yeah. So, moving towards, I forgot what you said for it,
Can
and I
I
had
just,
something to say about it.
Vitamin something.
It's on the edge of my
yeah,
tongue. Oh, I might have already
I,
said it then if it was about the vitamins. Yeah, I got something else here though. It says caffeine and seizures. We've been over this, but this is someone else. I am an avid coffee drinker and it has never been a problem. But since switching medications, I cannot, for the life of me, have any caffeine without going full-blown panic attack. It's so frustrating because I love coffee so much. And while, yes, decaf is a thing, a lot of places around me don't have it. Any advice?
If
Advice
it
from the
doesn't
coffee
bother you, don't
drinkers.
worry about it.
Don't worry
Stay
about
away
it.
from it. It will
I
keep you
drink
up.
coffee every day, every single day, and it doesn't bother me. But then again, just because it's not a trigger for me, doesn't mean it's not a trigger for other people.
Right.
Tom 101.
Coffee
There.
drinkers, anybody?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is definitely a trigger for me. You know, the coffee lovers joke, decaf is a joke, but I do get too much caffeine. You know, I have to stop and think about that, you know, last cup of coffee that's in the carafe. You know, it's like, yeah, maybe. But yeah, caffeine can be a trigger for me. And I think I responded to that one and somebody took it the wrong way. One of my doctors, one of my favorites, said, well, if you ever want to check and see if you're still having seizures, just sit down and drink a pot of coffee. Just have your rescue meds.
Well, if you drink a
'Cause,
pot of coffee, I mean, anything's fine in
but you know what I
moderation.
mean.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. You know what I mean.
yeah.
And it's like,
I've got a French press,
oh
okay?
yeah.
And my French press makes 2 cups of coffee. Now, before I got a French press, if I had a pot of coffee, I would drink the whole thing. But moderation. And I don't know if that gave me a seizures or not. I don't. But to me, and as you know, girl, moderation is the way of life.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tom
And
101.
I'll have that extra cup of coffee if I know I'm feeling okay and I got people around because it
Yeah.
doesn't always, but I don't know. Sometimes it'll get me the next day. You know what I mean? Because I can't sleep. Like Angel said, I won't be able to sleep and then it doesn't hit me for the next day. But yeah, caffeine can be a real trigger, almost a universal trigger. But yeah, too much moderation. Too much
Moderation.
moderation is what it is, Tom.
And decaf is a joke unless you have a bad heart.
I can't drink decaf.
You can if you can't drink coffee
I
at
said
all.
I can't drink decaf.
You'd be surprised how fast you would love that decaf when you can have your coffee.
Well, hey, you know what? That's it right there. You said it right there, Jeff. If I can.
Right.
If I can. I
If your
love the
doctor
taste of coffee.
if your doctor tells you that if you have another cup of coffee, your heart is going to stop, then you
I
go to
pay my
decaf.
doctor to tell me what I want to hear.
Well, you could do that.
And then when the missus gets to see the visit summary, you know, this whole time you said French press so many times, and I thought that sounded like some kind of fancy iron or a hairstyle. I would have never known.
Oh, you don't want a French press it? It's a
Oh, now I know. It's a
oh.
luxury for you coffee aficionados, but you know, I'm glad I never got into it.
Oh, that's something else I say. If you haven't started drinking coffee, don't start.
Mm.
I mean,
I like,
I have to have at least a cup of coffee every day. Otherwise, it's my heroin.
I like
If I don't have a cup of coffee,
caramel
I
flat.
will have a serious headache. At night, come 6 o'clock at night, I have a headache from here to here.
Mm. Yeah, that sounds like it sucks, Tom.
It's called addiction.
Yeah, I got an addiction. I have a caramel frap every time I pass a Starbucks, so it's kind of an addiction.
Well,
Think
I
about that
refuse.
ice and that caffeine every time I see a Starbucks.
I refuse to buy coffee at Costco. I mean, coffee shops anymore. I can't afford it.
I need to go to Costco. Um,
I just want
Yeah.
to go to
No,
Costco
their
so I
coffee
can get
comes
a
out of a
sample from
bag.
Tom.
Hey, congratulations on getting 750. It'll probably be 800 members now on the universe before the end of the night.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
M
We
said she's
started a new
buying
universe.
snacks. I'm buying a nanny cam.
There you go. Treat yourself.
I got something here. It says not eating. Can I go through a day without eating a couple times a week, or is it prohibited while taking Keppra? I don't suggest it ever, but I don't get eating cues, so you guys talk to me about that. Eating cues, anyone?
I don't get the eating cues, but I force myself to eat a breakfast and dinner at least. That way I have something in me. And I try to eat the healthiest as possible, get the healthy fats in you. Breakfast, a good oatmeal would do, but
Okay.
Yeah,
it's
good old
yeah,
meal good for
somebody else
me.
take over.
I don't suggest not eating while taking your pills, because I try to eat something every now and then. But so far, doing this and editing, it's a lot of time. So I've been on a water diet for a while. But what works for me doesn't work for everyone. So yeah.
I used to be able to intermittent fast. That's how I used to really eat before my diagnosis. Now if I get hunger cues, I'm more than likely to have a focal seizure. Like I will have one. Like it means I didn't eat enough, or I need to eat something as soon as possible. So that's been interesting. That's been within the last couple months. And one thing for sure, when I was 10 months seizure free again, I wasn't keto, but I was low carb. I'm not a huge carb person except for rice and potatoes. I had pasta, y'all. I swore up and down I was gonna cook pasta. That stayed in my pantry 2 years without being cooking expired. And I was like, well, I think we need to have a reality check here. You're not a pasta girly. So, but pho is an exception and Thai food. However, I think for sure I need to prioritize healthy fats. And I know I had a I can't think of that device, and I will have seizures if my blood sugar gets too low. So that was a new discovery as well. So I found out hypoglycemia and too high of a spike fast will cause focal aware seizure. So I have to keep my blood sugar balanced or I'm risking a seizure.
Courtney, I have to go along with you on that. My last seizure at work, I believe it was from low blood sugar. I truly believe that.
Did you feel kind of dizzy and faint? Like you were like, whoa.
I sat down because yes, I was, and then I just melted away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's been a huge one. I would be so confused. Why? Because I'm like, I'm not eating anything. And then I was like, yeah, that's the problem. You're not eating anything.
Yes, and I hadn't eaten that much. Yeah.
So now I just eat high fat, healthy fats. I wouldn't say I'm keto, of course. I don't ever want to be keto. I'm just low carb, high fat, and that's been kind of really easy to control. And I'm gluten free, so that helps. So
See you later, Jeff.
bye,
We'll be
Jeff.
here.
Right.
Bye,
Right.
Jeff.
Right.
Night.
Being gluten free solves half the problem for me when it comes to carbs. So I
So
can't even eat wheat.
So does gluten free? Because I mean, it sounds like with the hypoglycemia and the epilepsy, it's all about being consistent. It's like staying at a level. So does the gluten free help maintain that, or what does the gluten free really do for you?
Gluten free helps me not break out in a rash and not
Oh, so you actually have an allergy.
have a gluten free allergy. Yes.
Oh, okay.
how it works in your body. Sorry, Kate, I don't want to go down this path. Is that high protein and high fat will break down into, I can't think of the name, but it's kind of like a synthetic version of glycogen for your brain. So that's what helps with the stability. It's just not, glycogen is fast and boom up there. You know, your brain only gives, I don't want to curse. It doesn't care about itself. So you said what, Pookie?
No, it's a clusterfest.
So yes, that's one thing I will say is that it's helpful. So I'm trying to be low carb, high healthy fats. Also, anybody eat sardines?
No.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I
Nobody
think it was
eats
a dare
sardines?
once back in the day.
Been about at least
Yeah,
27
I'm
years.
already getting nauseous. Homie,
I'll
don't
take
play that.
salmon.
Come on, you
I'll
give
take
out the samples at
salmon and
Costco. You guys
sushi.
must try to make it gourmet sometimes.
Sweetie, let me tell you something.
I'll make salmon and sushi and like
Well,
tuna
hey, you know what I did yesterday? Was salmon skin.
and the
Salmon
fatty
skin.
fishes.
I'm like, no. Excuse me?
And you were supposed to try to sell that.
Everybody, and so everybody says, well, what's it taste like?
Mm.
Well, this is why it's a sample. And I said, I'm an honest salesman. And they said, well,
And
if
that's
you're
why
an
you don't
honest
get
salesman,
commission.
how's it taste? That's why I'm an honest salesman, because I don't taste it. If I taste it, then I'm going to have to lie to you. So, nope. I didn't
Come
even taste
on
it.
now.
Like, do
Think
you
like a
not like
salesman. Just throw out there the seasonings and make it sound delicious for those who might like
Hell
that lemon
no.
pepper, buttery flavor or
Oh,
whatever.
it was flavored with chili, red chili.
Do you not
Okay.
like seafood, Tom? Is it just you don't like fish?
I like halibut. White fish.
I think I've only eaten halibut like one time. That's
Okay, and I live in the Northwest. I mean, I've got fish that swim up the river right behind me.
you catch it and eat it.
Nope.
Okay, you answered that question then.
Real quick. Homie, don't play that.
Okay, so look, sardines, y'all. Even a really good neurologist recommend them. So that's all I'm gonna say. Sardines are really good for you, especially the ones with the bone and skin and steel, because our medicine robs us of our minerals. Consider
Okay.
that.
So the only risk of, like with tuna, oil versus water, any better than worse with the sardines?
It's better than tuna since tuna consume other fish. Sardines don't. The mercury levels. I don't know.
Are all the sardines like canned the same, or is there like a brand or a specific kind? Like I heard you say bone in.
I eat the ones that come from the health food store. Wild Pacific is
Okay.
one. Fish Wife is another. Just the ones at Whole Foods. Costco has a brand, and it's Wild Pacific still that I eat. I like
Okay, so it's not all the little cans that I'm thinking about.
like the
Yeah, the
little.
little cans with the roll top.
Right, that's
Those are
exactly what
still
came to
no.
mind.
That is still the same thing. They are tinned. You're gonna get
What do
out.
they
Okay.
taste
Why do
like?
they have
They
them in
Is it like
tin cans?
tuna?
It tastes like tuna. Tuna's kind of bland to me. It just tastes like a fishy fish. I don't know how to describe sardines because I kind of grew up with them. I like it with hot
Is
sauce,
it
with some sharp cheddar cheese. Give me some crackers. I'm good to go.
I
Or
like peanut butter and crackers.
see, we got a deal. I like that too.
they have like bones in them and you like eat the bones and it's like crunchy? Like what is going
Oh, they're
on?
not country. You're not. They're soft. They break down, comfortable too. I don't know what I can compare it to.
They don't get
It's
stuck
not
in your
even
teeth.
gritty. It's not even gritty. It's just like all a part of it. Just try it once.
Do
It's
you
really
like in the can, do you see their eyeballs? Is it like a little baby
no, their
fish?
heads are
Like
gone. No, their heads
I
are.
don't know. I've never had a
I'm not
sardine.
offended by any means. You're not dealing with the intel. You're not dealing with the head. You're dealing with the actual torso. If that's what fish have is a torso, I don't know. But you eat that, and the bones and the ribs are in there. They're really soft. I'm trying to compare it to what. Okay, maybe comparable to like. Have you ever accidentally ate your supplement and it wasn't closed all the way, and then it dissolved on your tongue? Like the powder of a supplement.
Yeah, those always
Powder
taste
of what?
disgusting. So maybe not the best
It
comparison.
doesn't taste it. It doesn't
How it
taste like that.
disintegrates.
It's the texture.
Right.
I don't know. I'm very bad at this because I don't care. I'm partying with them. I'm slicing onions with it. If you want to try to ease yourself into it, I make a dill dip.
Hey,
When
Pookie, make note.
Dill
That's the
dip?
title of this episode is Partying with Sardines.
Mm.
you do you like yogurt?
Yep.
Okay, that's a start. Do you like dill?
Yeah.
What?
Dill, the herb dill.
Not into herbs. I haven't heard of it,
I'm
but I can
sorry,
try
no.
it, I guess.
Y'all are too stuck up for me tonight.
I missed the decaf conversation.
Oh, that was Jeff and I.
That's healthy fats. That's your minerals.
Omegas.
So I make a dill dip with it and eat it with cucumbers. So Greek yogurt, like make it like you make tuna and put it on a cracker and see how it goes. Is that easier?
So like you would
Yeah,
put
that's
the
what I'm seeing as the
sardine on
recipes.
top of the cucumber and then like the
No,
dill
I
dip
Mix
on
it up.
top.
You still have to buy them though.
Maybe add some celery, you know, to
how
get
about you
creative
give
with
us
it.
your Costco
Just
discount and help us
buying-
introduce the people to them?
Honey, you got it. You got me. All right.
Introduce us to it. Like I'm gonna pretend like I never had it if I could get that discount. Okay, listen, you get the Greek yogurt, high protein. Okay,
I don't do yogurt either.
Oh my Tom.
I do not. I don't. You do yogurt
Okay,
unless
how do
it's
you
that
get
frozen yogurt, like ice cream
How do
on yogurt. Well, I've got a story behind that. When I was a kid, I drank a mouthful of bad milk. Oh God.
Mm.
This is trauma for
No,
you?
I can't.
You had the
I
worst
can't.
kind of yogurt.
Oh man. Oh.
Yeah,
So this is trauma for you.
we can work it, right, Kate?
Childhood trauma.
Man, that was wrong.
You're gonna have to eat some yogurt and do some butterfly taps because we need you to help.
Honey, that doesn't fly with me. No.
No,
Homie, don't
if
say that
I ever
again.
if my family ever gets this homestead thing going, we're gonna make some like homemade milk and yogurt and all the dairy products and get you.
No.
Like you're gonna have a panic attack.
Oh,
They
God,
won't
it's
even
sad.
let me. I mean, they won't
All
let
right. We'll start with the gelato.
do yogurt. I mean, dairy products at Costco because I got sick at Costco.
Just from like the
they-
odor of mayonnaise or something.
No, the odor of yogurt.
Okay.
And so my boss, Chris, said, Tom, all right, because we're not allowed to pick and choose what we do. We go in and say, okay, this is what you're going to do today. And it's like, hey, I get paid to follow direction, right? That's what I get a paycheck for. But she saw me honestly get ill. So she's allowing me not to do dairy.
Done deal. So does M get hungry? I'm going with all the people who look like they're not overweight. I want
Y'all are
answers from all
sending
of
me
you.
back to. I'm gonna go chain smoke, guys. What are you guys doing?
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Sorry, I did interrupt you. My bad.
Court and Tom go at it. I kept trying to stop laughing.
Well, I was thinking
No,
those
no,
are
I'm more
Costco.
Sorry,
forgiving
I'm
of the
sorry.
yogurt.
I couldn't help it.
Yogurt. I'm forgiving
You
of the
open the door.
No apologies. We got to change the subject so you can cool off now.
Wait,
I feel
does
better
anybody
now. I'm
else
good.
wanna, does
Two,
anybody else
we're
have a
sorry,
yucky food
Tom.
story?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
I'm Hispanic. We eat pulpo, which is octopus. So
No. I had Vietnamese food one time. We got invited to a Vietnamese restaurant one day after church. And I got this bowl of, I don't know what it was, but there was an eyeball looking up at me. I don't know what it was, but I've never been in a Vietnamese restaurant since.
So,
Oh.
wow.
That was just absolutely wrong. You do not eat things that look back at you. I'm sorry.
I've heard that before. But I got something for Court. Sorry, Tom, when we were talking about yogurt, you weren't talking about putting the yogurt and the sardines together, were you?
Yes, you make it like tuna. You eat tuna. Hold on, y'all don't eat tuna salad, but y'all are like, ooh, sardines.
I don't do really.
Out of sight, out of
know I
mind
had
is
this
how you
many
can
problems
rationalize
with
that.
food.
You know how much of what you eat every day once had a beating heart and eyes and a brain. But if
Hey,
you
if I
see
don't
it,
see it, I could give a rat's.
exactly. At least you can recognize it for what's up.
Right.
Right.
Like you said, you don't see it, you don't give a rat's.
No.
That makes me think back to when I went to Thanksgiving at my stepdad's family, his grandmother. Days before that, I was there and I was gonna pour some cereal. Well, I did pour cereal, and the milk came out chunky. So I explained to them that this milk is old, and I just threw it in the garbage for you guys. They're like, "No, don't throw it away." They're like, "We can use that for cakes and stuff. Thanksgiving is coming up." So I waited till Thanksgiving, and I seen the cakes. I seen the cakes that they made with this yogurt.
No.
Nobody knew, and the cousin that I did explain it to was like, "Oh, they've been doing this for years." So yeah, they saved the old milk for like cakes and
pies. Oh God.
Nobody ever knew.
But as I said, if I don't know, I don't care. If it tastes good, I'm good. Just don't tell me.
That's fair. I think if anything, if people are like, "Oh, sardines," maybe the Italian crusted sardines will be something interested in you.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now. They look like
I feel
little
like I'm a
chips.
sardine sponsor, whatever. Y'all, this will help our epileptic brains, okay? That's the reason why I'm pushing it on y'all, okay?
Hey, you know what? If you want me to eat sardines or something, just slide it in. Slide it under something where I don't see it or smell it.
That's what
I'll try it then. Hey, but I won't go out of my way to eat something or smell something. And you know what? Before we started this conversation, I never realized how bad my I thought I could eat anything.
Oh man.
After this conversation, I gotta rethink this.
Stressed.
I can't do the yogurt. The yogurt and sardines.
Him is too. Y'all are stressed out.
No, we'll never tell you what's really in hot dogs.
Oh, honey, I like hot dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I got one for you. In back in Pennsylvania, we had this stuff called, and Angel heard of this, Scrapple. Angel, you like Scrapple?
Yeah.
Now, Scrapple is everything that a butcher doesn't want. I mean, they could be scraping it off the floor for all I know. But when I was a kid, we used to eat it with eggs. It would fried scramble. Scrapple.
It's a
And when
breakfast
I
food.
found out what it was, I couldn't eat it anymore. But before that, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But then when I found out what it was, homie, no.
All of a sudden, you're too good.
It was. It tasted good. Again, if you can slide it in under my nose, put it on my plate, and I don't know about it, I'll try it. But I will not go out of my way to eat something. When I go to a restaurant, I won't look at the menu. Like if I go to a Thai restaurant, I eat red curry, chicken, medium. Any Thai restaurant I go into, I don't even look at the menu. I won't eat any of that other stuff.
Yeah, I gotta try some more Thai food. Sounds interesting. I gotta tell you what I tried that you didn't.
Well, see, you don't know what I didn't. I just know better.
No better.
Okay, enough about me.
There was another post, somebody I think linked it to Universe a couple days ago, just saying that it hit close to home. And I didn't know if any of us would really have feedback on this one. It's a post that says, "My girlfriend has epilepsy. She refuses to do anything with her life, and I think she's manipulating me." This was a user who actually posted this on a seizure chat. So what do you think they were expecting
She
from
refused to
patients?
do anything?
She refuses to do anything with her life. So I think he's talking about a little more than what's probably on his
Yeah.
mind. And
Okay.
I think she's manipulating me is how he finished the post.
Okay. I
Yeah.
can see how people would think that.
Yeah.
Because this shit is rough. But there's also some people who kind of, I'm not gonna say
Withdraw.
take advantage of their disability, but like
Yeah.
use it as, I don't know, like it could make people feel bad when they feel like they got to do everything for you, and you're feeling like, I'm not gonna do this. I have epilepsy. I've
Right.
heard those stories where somebody's like, "Oh no, I have epilepsy. I'm not doing that," and
There's
that could
those that
suck.
withdraw and there's those that accept.
I think
Yes.
multiple things can be true, but that's the thing. It's never that could absolutely be true. They could be doing it, and that absolutely can be false. It could be someone lacking empathy. It could be someone who's trying to get used to their diagnosis. If anything, it should just been a conversation with her.
Uh-huh. It's not something anyone can answer
That's what
that,
I'm saying.
right?
To understand and maybe mediate some kind of way. Like this shit is rough. I think
I
people.
think he needs to talk to a psychiatrist himself.
Mm.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
proud to hear Court's mature response to
Yes,
that
that
one,
was
because
good,
I know
Court.
probably every other female is blood is boiling right now. What's up,
Go
Melissa?
ahead, Melissa.
My immediate thought was like, is that all he wrote? Is that was the only? Okay.
Yeah, it was just that one
Like
sentence.
what came to my head first was number one, how old are they? Like, are they young guys? And like, how long have they been together?
There was no
Like,
context, but that's exactly what the comments are saying. Sounds like a
what's the
depressed kid.
situation? Because like exactly like you guys were saying, like she might be scared to work. She might not be knowing if she's capable of working. She might feel embarrassed
And
to
the only
work.
way to get
Like
beyond
it
that
could
is to
be just
step out of your comfort
embarrassment.
zone.
It doesn't, I don't know. There's so many things that she could be feeling.
Yeah,
Like
not doing anything
Court
with her life
said,
is kind of a blanket statement.
Yeah.
just talk to her. If you're
Maybe
gonna
her
have a
doctor's telling
mature
her to take it easy
relationship,
for a couple weeks while you're on a new medication, and he sees that for more than like 3 or 4 days in a row, and that's not doing anything with your life. So, yeah, there's a
I
lot more
didn't work
than
for
there's definitely
12
two sides to
years.
this story.
After I got my diagnosis and I got out of the Air Force, I didn't work for 12 years. And I thought I was kind of being lazy and I didn't like it. I was like, felt guilty to be in a relationship where I wasn't working, my husband was working, and I was just home all the time. So then I was homeschooling. So once my kids went to school, I was like, well, what am I going to do at home? I'm like, I'm just here. My son went to 5th grade. That was the first year he went to public school. So I was like, well, what am I going to do? My kids are both at school. So I was like, well, I'm going to try to work. So I tried to work and then I started having more seizures. And then finally this year, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I come home and I'm exhausted. Like a normal person works a full-time job and then they come home and they do their things. I come home and I lay down and sleep and I can't do anything else. I can't take care of the kids. I can't make sure they're doing their homework and I feel really guilty and I feel really bad and I really enjoyed my job. It's just working doesn't work for me. I don't think right now at this point in my life. So anyways, there could be a lot of stuff going on and he just, if they're going to have a mature relationship, he needs to ask her and talk to her about it. He can't just be posting this one sentence question on Reddit.
decide.
Exactly.
He needs to decide if he should be in that relationship with her, honestly. It's just not fair. And I don't know. Like I said, there's no anecdotes about like what she did. Like, did she sneeze too hard on you? And it's like I can't like what happened?
Oh my. I'm sorry for being a man, but it could be like, like he doesn't understand what she's going through. And like you said, the feeling bad thing. It could be like, he's doing a little much. I mean, she's doing a little much and he doesn't understand exactly what she's going through. And it could look like the anger, like you said, depends on how long they've been together and all that. It could be maybe she's getting more angry than she used to. Like, we don't know that, but yeah, could be a lot.
And
But
please
that's the
take over.
problem. Oh, sorry. Just the one thing I want to say is that's the problem. That post was useless. It should have been a conversation. That post, what we will be like, will we be talking about him if he had a story? We can be like, oh well, we can see that. Oh well, actually,
Okay, it could be a woman. We don't know that.
it could be anything. They should have talked to them.
Yeah,
It could have been cat dog. They needed to say what happened.
okay.
That's my issue. I don't know what happened.
Okay, I say it could be a woman too. So
Yeah, that's why I agree. That's why more so I was leaning towards that. Can y'all converse with the girlfriend or what?
Yeah, still just more context.
I can't hear you, Tom.
What
You're
Pookie,
muted.
I think what you said when I sent you this was everyone's gonna think that their ex wrote that, and I think that sums it up.
Oh, hold up. Maybe that was me. That sounds familiar.
Oh, sorry, Kate, that was you. Okay,
Yeah, I think that was me. Okay, so thanks for the subject. Thanks for the topic. Now we got that out there.
Tom, do you have something? Oh, okay. I just thought I seen your lips moving. But yeah, the no context thing kind of sets the ladies off, I see. So like I said, it could be anything.
I mean, it's the phrasing. Refusing to do anything with your life just must feel, strike a chord with a lot of us, because no matter what decade or point in your life you were diagnosed, you still had plans. You still had skills and abilities and plans or dreams on how to use that. And this probably felt like hitting a brick wall with the epilepsy. So that's refusing to do anything with your life is the part of the post that's most infuriating to me.
And they're allowed to be frustrated. Like, nobody's denying feelings here. We're like, where's the context of this? You can't help how you feel. You can help how you respond. You can take yourself back and take a step and reevaluate things before you act on them. And also before you get really vocal on a subreddit with people you don't know with very little context, no idea of what happened to make you make this post without any form of context.
Yeah, to jump to conclusion saying I think she's manipulating me says it all right there. It's over. You're not gonna support her and or enough to move on.
Maybe they've never helped someone to this degree before and think it is manipulation. Or maybe that person is manipulative, but
how fucking evil would you have to be to literally try to manipulate somebody with a chronic health condition that could actually be life-threatening at any point in time, and for him or her to actually assume that that's who the girlfriend is and that's the level she's on?
Well, I will say, Kate, don't underestimate evil. Don't underestimate evil. That is the only thing I will say.
Yeah, but come on, you got to be able to call out some other characteristics of a spiteful bitch that would go that low.
I mean, there's a 1%, but it's still a percent, right? That's it. That's
right.
What I'm saying. It's gonna exist regardless. You can't comprehend that, which means good on your part, because
but she would have opened a credit card in your name or done something else that not just try to blame it on the epilepsy first.
She could have just farted, and when he was like, she's manipulative. I don't know. I'm trying to pick. I'm creating content.
You are,
because there's nothing. That's my frustration. Oh, I will help. What happened? Like, get some context, please.
Yeah, that is too open-ended. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm still so proud of Court for assuming any positivity in this.
We could go
because
on
that's
forever
beautiful.
with this.
That's not just naive, that's beautiful. because there is still some goodness in the world, and you can remind us of that.
Yes, that is true, honestly, because like there's like people that I know that will always like try to like say something about, but like, oh my god, like yeah, I'd be like, oh my god, he has epilepsy. We just stay away from him, and then and then like the person would actually like barking and coming through, and, and then like that's when like I get to start to know that people are kind of more like narcissistic in their own ways. Like that's how evil they really are.
We got to look at what we live in too. Everything is self-centered. Everything's fast-paced. Everything is you got to do it now. Everything is you got to explain yourself. That is our society. Do you guys think we would have this much be this emotional if we had this diagnosis under different circumstances from society? And that's one thing I constantly think about. Like, you know, how Melissa was saying she feels so guilty she can't contribute in other ways. Rather, why can't she focus on her safety and health and possibly being better enough? Like, why isn't that the norm? Because I feel the same way, because like a lot of us are achievers. A lot of us in society aren't made to be useful. Society has made us to be useful or useless. You get used or you're useless. That's like the thing to do, rather than just really making sure people are safe, comfortable, and have their needs met. Why is that an issue? Why is it an issue that I want to make sure I'm safe and capable every day?
That's not possible. You can't. How are you going to do that?
Because you can change your expectations of safe.
But that's not making sure. Not making sure that's going to happen. Because hey, it's open ended.
Well, that's the thing, right? We have this forum right now because we have people that can relate to us and have needs to be met because of what we're going through. And that's not such a hard thing to establish, but it is a hard thing to found. Foundationally, if this was more common, this wouldn't be a huge issue like that. The problem is how society sets us up to be a certain way at all times because it benefits society as a whole. And it's not even society, it's just money. So it's what is the pick of the fruit, is how fast you picked it, and is this fruit even ripe? They will pick some shit that's not even done completely and try to sell it to you for double the cost of a ripe one. Like that's what we deal with. We deal with fast pace. If anything, with this diagnosis, and I don't know if you guys can relate as well, and I will shut up in a minute, Pookie, is that we have to learn to slow down. We have to learn to slow down. How many things we have that's calendar related? How many things we have that's time related? Okay. If there was more flexibility in our time and our presence, because hello, we need to learn mindfulness, how different would things be? Really think about that. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, I was gonna say not to go back to the relationship thing, but this shit is rough. To when I look back at like relationships I was in, like I was a rough person to deal with, and this is looking back on things. I didn't feel like that then, but this shit is rough to date someone going through this. Yeah, going through this. We are rough. The rough we can't explain and don't understand because we're not seeing this shit or looking from the other side of the fence. But I also had something else with the relationship if nobody else had anything to do next. So.
I mean, one of the very first meetings we were talking about having I think the conversation started on having a doctor with epilepsy, you know, how comfortable or would that even be a preference? And that evolved into a conversation of I would rather have a partner or somebody with epilepsy who, you know, I could feel like really is on the same page and truly does understand. And I mean, it seems like that's kind of another segue from this one.
So I got something. It says relationships while having epilepsy. Hi guys, I would like to know how you guys do being on medication for epilepsy while in a relationship. I'm 26 years old and I'm a female. And I've been dating my boyfriend for about 2 years now. I'm on 750 milligrams of Keppra. And after my last seizure back in December, I am taking it twice a day now instead of once a day. I feel like since I've increased my dose, I've become way more angry. I was never this way before this year. I keep getting angry, starting fights with him that leave me storming out of the room all the time. I get so angry that it's overwhelming. My mental health has been declining. My boyfriend doesn't deserve this at all. I really do feel like the problem is Keppra. I plan on getting a neurologist appointment to see if I have options for different medication. Do you guys have any advice on how to deal with these symptoms and not hurt your significant other? I say it's Keppra, so I just
think I
point out the
commented
biggest
on
problem. Keppra, get it figured out. Anybody else?
I think I commented on that one, and that's primarily what it is. You know, there is the thing called Keppra rage, of course, and the only thing you can do is talk to your neurologist and try and find something that works. If Keppra is working for you, then there's other medications that can be substituted. And I don't know, maybe because this is something I'm thinking of, but I don't know. I haven't done enough research yet. I have to see what other medications that are in the same category, whether or not they've got the same anger side effects.
There's a comment here. Someone said, I've gotten really in touch with my Keppra rage. Whenever I feel my blood boiling and my whole body getting tense with nothing external making me mad, I typically separate myself from others, take some deep breaths, and listen to some chill music until I calm down a bit. I've also found that it's helpful to be open with those around you, so they are away of the medication does. This makes it easier to interject before an interaction goes south by just saying something like, I need a second, I'm Keppra raging super hard right now, or something like that. But yeah, it does suck. I'm considering switching meds too. Best of luck. Yeah, with that medication, it works for some people. If it works for you and just causing Keppra rage, I think just find some way to not have Keppra rage, because they haven't explained any seizures since, what does it say, November? So if you're not
What are you
having
thinking,
seizures, I
Jason?
say just personally, if I'm not having seizures, I'll keep taking the medication and try to just work on my anger. And like the other person said, make signs to people that I'm going through a rage right now. Might cuss you out, put my hands on you, but I love you still.
Like I would say that I'm a musician, but you know, like with Keppra, but with the Keppra rage, I mean, like, you know, like it gives me back to my relationships that, like, I mean, like, that I should have kept, but like I was taking a lot of doses on Keppra. Like the good news is that, like, I'm down to 1,500 now, but like when I was taking like at least like 1,000 like years ago of Keppra, you know, like it was of years ago, I would say like completely like I'll like the raids of Keppra is like way too much, and you know, like, and I kind of noticed my anger throughout the years where I would like pretty much get mad at myself, like get mad at myself or get mad at the other person. It made my blood boil like so much, and you know, like, and you know, like I was trying to switch, like I was trying to switch from Keppra, but like the doctors here, like in my town, which I live in, with doctors in my town, like, you know, like they want me to stay on Keppra, and like honestly, like I don't want to be on Keppra anymore.
Me either. I won't go back. Anybody else on Keppra? Oh, Kate.
Yeah, they want me to be taking 4,000 milligrams a day, but I'm choosing on just going for the stockpile and using breastfeeding as an excuse.
Yeah, 4,000 milligrams a day was when they took me off. I was like, no, I don't want to go back.
Yeah, like when I was on 3,000 milligram Keppra, I was like that was it. Like I'm not taking this. I don't want to take it anymore.
I just lost faith in all pharmaceuticals in general. I mean, I can't deny that obviously if I stop taking them, then the bad ones come back. But I'm using my own balance to keep from having too many clusters. But I'm more dependent, I would say, on the RNS, on the implant at this point, than the pharmaceuticals because the dependence won't stop. I just feel like it's such a vicious cycle once you know you're medication resistant. And a lot of these medications or all of these medications do have negative long-term side effects, then it doesn't make any sense. It's not logical to me at this point to keep taking the medications when if one of these electrodes picks up on something and that can shut it down, then we'll see long term if that doesn't end up taking out more neurons than one of these medications does on my liver, you know? So we'll see.
I got another comment here. It says, "I'm
Oh, Court's
sorry."
had her hand up.
Huh?
Court's had her hand up.
I think.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Court. I couldn't see the
It's
hand up.
before mine though.
Anybody?
I don't want to be that girl constantly talking.
Go
Wait,
ahead.
I already took that spot.
Just piggybacking off what Kate's saying is that I think I really do believe this, and you guys can try with me maybe, is that we have to figure out the vagal nerve system ourselves. That is something that in general the medical field has very little knowledge on, even though it controls 1, 2, and 3. God, I hate doing this. 3 things I want y'all to know. There are only 3 places in your body where neurons are found. Do you know where? Did I say this last time? I feel like I did.
I don't remember.
Did I say this last time?
We're the audience you have to repeat these facts to.
Huh?
This is the audience where when you give us medical facts, it need to be repeated.
Okay. So there's 3 places where neurons are found anyway. It's your brain, your heart, and your stomach. When they say if you don't know what to do, hello up here, you follow what? Your brain or your heart. I'm sorry, your heart or your stomach or your gut rather. So with that being said, I think there's not enough scope on the vagus nerve system. Like, hello, it's working everything. It controls everything in your body. It's so delicate. It has a lot of influence on each other. Like when we're talking to each other, we're dealing with our vagus nerves. And I just don't think it's focused enough on what can we control. By no means am I saying that medication is not pointless or anything. I just truly believe that things probably work in a group favor. Hello, that's what our body does. So along with medication, I think there needs to be more focus on VNS. Like, what exactly can we do to help assist and minimize and control and reduce along with medicine? Do you guys feel honestly like that's what's happening? Like, am I the only one kind of like, well, I'm really thinking into this. Like, how do you guys feel about that? Because like I said, I just truly feel that there could be more moves towards really just focus on a vagus nervous system. Like the nerve is just so crazy to think about how much it runs our body. And our brain, of course, is pretty much a foreign spot for us. And then laser ablation as well. So I don't know. That's why I'm asking y'all opinion, because I am trying to get out of my mood where I feel like I'm not sure if it's the epilepsy that's draining me or if I'm burnt out or if I'm going to a point that I don't care, because I am like, come on, Court, wake up for an hour and focus strictly on epilepsy minimization. Like, can you just please do yoga for 5 minutes maybe? Can you please just do something that's reading and helping you feel better about yourself? Can you spend minutes writing to where you think you can do something? Can you just spend a few time checking over that checklist to make sure as soon as you waking up, you're setting yourself up for success for the day, for health for the day? And then this one thing I am telling myself almost every day is careless, carefree, and careful. Like before this, I think I just got away with being careless. Now that I have to be careful, would they at least allow me to become more carefree? So that's been a thing circling in my head because epilepsy sucks. It's so bad. Like people think, what's the worst thing that happened to you? I probably would have said when I tripped in the airport and slid towards my uncle and they caught it on camera and laughed. But no, I definitely think it is epilepsy now because it's, oh my God, epilepsy sucks, y'all. And like, if I could go walk through and hug everybody right now, I would. But yeah, that's my rant.
And it makes perfect sense. Tom, you had your hand up?
You're muted still. You're still muted, Tom. Tom can hear.
Tom.
Sorry about that. Courtney, I think you're 100% on ball. Okay, I mean, people like.
As long as he keeps calling you Courtney, by the way, what is your name? Okay, all right, just checking.
It's Courtney. What do you? Okay, you can. I thought Courtney was too big to put on screen, but is it Court? I'll just go. That's what it says, Court. Okay.
She said it's
So,
Courtney.
Okay, so anyway, I personally have been through the gamut as far as medications go. I've had brain surgery, and I've got a VNS. A lot of people don't go to the VNS because I don't know why, but I think that we need to go beyond just medication. I don't know. I don't care if it's home remedies or what. I mean, I don't think medication's doing it. I mean, how many people do you know that are epileptic that have been cured through medication? I don't know of any. They don't know. They don't know what causes it. They don't know how to stop it. And from what I understand, they don't think it's going to be done.
Jesus cured one boy.
I think if there's another way that you have, you want to try. And the vagus nerve, as you said, goes to every organ in your body, major organ in your body. And I think that when they went to the VNS, that was, I think that was one of their last choices. But I think the VNS is a great idea. And the vagus nerve is like, it goes everywhere.
That's what I'm saying. It's just that it's only your neurons, the thing that runs that, that's what's messing up. It's too excited up there in your brain is in 3 spots that are heavily influencing your health every day. Like all your organs for sure, but if one of those are out of whack, ASAP, you die, right? Am I wrong? Like if one of those you're done. So with those 3 organs, the brain, the heart, and the gut are the only places where neurons, where are they really being examined and evaluated for more information and more care and more control outside of our brain? So that's why I say can anyone too talk about this if you've had brain surgery or the laser ablation? Because that's something I was looking into. And that sounds kind of sketch to me, and even open brain surgery. Like what else have anyone else have tried anything outside of medicine is what I'm asking.
Well, we can come back to that. Jason's had his hand up for a minute.
Sorry, Jason.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So like what were we talking about?
Before this, it was medication. I think kind of the never getting off the treadmill of repeating medications, max dose, next one. There was Keppra Rage before that was one of the subjects.
Okay. So
That's what.
okay. So like okay. So like for the medications and stuff like that. I mean, like there's like medications are rough. I mean, like I don't care what people say. I mean, like like when I was on topiramate, like I felt like my body was just crashing down, like from minute to minute, and I felt like completely like it was just completely horrible, and I felt like my speech was slurring, my words were slurring, everything was slurring, and like it took me to a point where like I was just tired of my hometown, and I had to just get out. I mean like once when I graduated and stuff like that, I had to get out, and and I went to a different doctor, and I talked to Dr. Wendy about it, and like she and she helped me go off the and she helped me go off the pyramid and stuff like that, and I had to like deal with stuff like that, and like it was from like 100 to like to completely off of it, and I was happy I got off of it, but the same thing with Zasperdone and with Kepra. I felt like with Zasperdone, like I've been trying to get off of it for years, but they wouldn't get me off of that so much completely. Like it was a battle, and I feel like completely with more of the relationships that I do have. I mean, like, cause like I'm scared to get in a relationship right like completely now, because like if I do, like I'm gonna get like a lot angrier, and my blood's gonna boil a lot more, because like I'm a big guy, and I could probably do damage, because of my wrestling background and my jiu-jitsu background. So like, like I don't want to like jump on it, like jump on the wheel so fast, and don't press it too hard, because like like with, I mean, like because like how can you like take medications like multiple medications, and not understand your body like real well, that if you want to get into like so good, you like you're gonna have to deal with the repercussions. Everyone know what they're saying?
I'm assuming the repercussions that you're referring to are the side effects of the medication, short term and long term.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's my biggest issue with the meds too. Is that in the end they're going to do more harm than good. What's up,
Like
Jocelyn?
What are the long-term implications of the medicine? They haven't told me that. Do you guys mind sharing? I'm on topiramate.
All right, I'll look into that. Jason, what were you saying?
I was on Superman for almost a year, and like I was on Superman for almost a year, and I remember completely that like with like if you take Superman, like your words are going to slur, your speech is going to slur, like I mean like, and also I feel like with Superman, like your body's going to shut down completely, because like I've been taking Superman as well for like last year. I mean, like, and it's not fun. Like, I'm like, thank God, like I went to Banyan in Sebring, which is down in South Florida, I believe. So like, so like I talked to Dr. Wendy about it, and she helped me got off the pyramid, and now I feel a lot better. And like, I don't have to deal with Tallahassee anymore, because like Tallahassee, like they were trying to like actually put me into 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 like a death grip with like Kepra, Pyramid, and Zasperdone. Right now, I'm not taking Zasperdone and Pyramid anymore. I'm not taking those two. So
Thank you for that. No, I appreciate it. They gave me a list of drugs to pick from, and they were very strongly discouraging me from any other drug because I'm so fat. And they were telling me to do topiramate, which I appreciate. I don't want to gain weight. I want to lose weight, but
But they conveniently forgot to tell you about your liver and your bones and your
they
mood
didn't tell,
changes.
they did not list any side effects, which, I should go look it up, of course, but I don't want to have seizures.
So they
I
just
always
completely
say,
doubted your ability to lose weight naturally, and maybe
Yeah.
preserve some organs
Oh
in the
yeah,
meantime.
oh yeah. And I've been anorexic twice. They didn't look at my chart. I've been anorexic twice. I know how to lose weight. It's not easy, but you just stop eating. Ha ha.
Yeah. I would call second opinion on that one.
No, I
I
agree.
would,
And I'm losing weight now because I'm trying. I was depressed for 5 years. It's not easy. It's not easy for anyone. I'm not saying it is.
right.
I would definitely look up any medication, possibly while you're still at the your hepatologist or neurologist's office.
Well, I have a
Look it up
new
first.
neurologist now. Sorry. No, I have a new neurologist now, and I really like him, and so I'll talk with him about side effects when I see him in August.
Yeah.
So I appreciate. Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
What I was
I
going to
always
say is,
recommend that.
forgot. Yeah, will come back to me.
Anything about long-term side effects ring a bell? And what I'm seeing on topiramate right now is kidney stones. And Anne has had some stories for us about, I think, let me see, is this a benzo? You know if this is an AED or benzodiazepine, the topiramate?
Okay, it came to me.
Okay, go ahead.
Then I lost it again.
I don't think so.
That's crazy.
Now that's my fault.
We'll come back now. We'll come back to me again. It'll come around. I forgot what it is. It'll come to me, but for now, I'll say.
Ironically, cognitive impairment, difficulty with memory, concentration, and overall mental clarity is also a long-term side effect of the medication.
Okay.
So that just sounds like too, I mean, I don't want to call it convenient, but
No.
how often have you gone back to the neurologist complaining about noticing cognitive difficulties and they blame it on the seizures? Well, your seizures haven't stopped, so I would assume that's to blame.
Yeah.
But you know, they never told me that it could be the meds. They just up the dose and say best of luck.
Yeah, they didn't tell me any side effects or what anything would cause. They just gave it to me. It was like, this is good for epilepsy. Luckily, it wasn't Keppra at first, but my second was Keppra. But yeah, I feel like they work on a don't ask, don't tell. It's just like, we're going to give you these pills, and if you decide to look it up, then okay. But if you don't, then we can say you had it and you just didn't take that option to go take it. But hey.
I mean, I just think that's the way a lot of doctors operate with a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
Consent to treatment is acknowledging that you have to do your own research. It's just as risky as driving a car off the lot. You know, you're losing 5 or 10 grand as soon as you pull off the lot. Same thing with consent to treatment. Now you're taking on the risk of the meds, the possible surgery, the testing, and whatever treatment you agree to.
Yeah,
because
I'll
you
get
agree
back
to
to
the
you
risk.
on that.
Yeah, like that's why with the doctors and stuff like that. I mean, like like the saddest part about doctors, like they can't help you, or else like they live like far away, so like they won't actually reach to you. And like that's how like I think that how doctors like operate with like when they put you on pills and stuff like that. Because like when I first because when I first was introduced to Keppra. Like I thought it was like, oh man, it's gonna be a very great thing. Next thing I know, I have like a lot of raids, and I would like scare my friends away. So like it's completely hard.
Yeah, that shit can cause depression. Which here I got something about depression. It says depression disorder before epilepsy. Who here suffered from depression before being diagnosed with epilepsy? For people who epilepsy affects them regularly, how are you doing now? Things have been really rough lately. Need some tips. I didn't have depression before epilepsy, but anybody else?
Yeah. Big time.
Talk about it. Let me know what that's like.
Oh yeah, no, I mean sorry, yeah. I've been absolutely suicidal, like in college. I'm 47, so in college, I was suicidal, and then after college suicidal, and then definitely in my 30s, and then the last time was late 30s suicidal, but I didn't want to actually I never tried, but I had a plan. Yeah. And I'm on SSRIs right now, and I like them because I don't want to go through with it. And I just know that my brain, when I get really, if I'm not on SSRI, at least this is the way I look at it. When I'm not on SSRIs and it's after, I'm a CPA, so when it's after busy season, but the adrenaline drops and my brain tells me to end my life. And so I just look at it as that's what my brain does to me, and the SSRIs help. And that's how I've been looking at it. And so I just figure the SSRIs kind of even the things out in my brain. That's how I've looked at it now.
Yeah, I can remember one thing with Keppra is that's the only time I thought, what would it be like to walk in traffic? And I remember that from those days of taking Keppra. And just that was the only time I ever thought about what it would be like. What would it be like for me just to walk out here in front of this traffic? Haven't taken it since. Depression didn't have any before the epilepsy, so I was a child, so I had everything given to me. So of course there wasn't any depression at that time. Things were still being handed to me. Now it's a different story.
Now you gotta live in this mess.
Yeah. Right after having it. Go ahead, Angel.
I was saying you were Pookie the baby.
Yeah. I got out of that phase eventually.
Yeah, I think that's why I got off the Fycompa pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's another curious thing about the notes. A lot of these visit notes, they list switching medications, but no reason why. So another thing that reminds me about how important it is to take my own notes, because going into the doctor's office, they definitely might not list much more than what's being done, not necessarily what I'm telling them.
One thing I have is, do you guys think it's the diagnosis, the seizures, or the medication that's causing the depression? I think it was my diagnosis, just having it. I was just angry at that. That's what caused depression. Just like I have epilepsy. After my second seizure, I was like, whoa, I have epilepsy and it's causing seizures, multiples. That got me.
I think it's a mixture of all three. And I also think you have to add your environment and situations to it.
Yeah. I wouldn't say my environment was a little toxic, but I'd say it wasn't healthy at that time. And again, I was a child, so I was angry once I figured out I had it. Once I got over that phase, yeah. Epilepsy is a lot. And I understand.
I would think, now that I'm really meditating on it, I think that the diagnosis, I mean, you're going through, for those of us, or those, I can't use myself, I was a kid as well, but ones that have been diagnosed with epilepsy later on in life, it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I've got a family, or I've got a career, or whatever. Their life has changed incredibly, or they've come to a point where they can't turn around. And I myself, I was a child. And so I didn't know any better. I didn't have anything. So I never felt that way myself.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying with that. Like being a child, didn't understand. Like I said, stuff still being handed to me, and it wasn't being explained. Epilepsy. It was just like, you have epilepsy and you have seizures. I knew nothing about epilepsy. I just knew I had seizures.
It's more than seizures.
So yeah, the seizures part is the part that bothered me most, because I was having them in school. So that environment, just having them in school and people around me and people that I'm hanging out with and stuff, that was the only thing that got to me.
That was the part that I couldn't hide.
Yeah, there we go. That was the part I could not hide. Otherwise, just living life, it didn't bother me. Just knowing I had it and I got to go to school and I got to go be around these people and then I got to think about me having it. That got to me.
And now you know you can't drive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like that's the. Oh yeah, like that sucks the most on like when you can't drive. Like for me, like I haven't driven in 2 years. that's the hardest part.
That's the easiest part for me
Yeah,
because it was in high school when I found out.
I mean, once you
I
get
found
used
out
to
in,
it.
yeah, when I found out in high school, and then they were like, "You feel me? You can't drive." I had just got my permit, so then I was like, "Well, I won't be in that student parking lot." And went about my life. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna drive. That part didn't get to me. It was just because it was as soon as I got my permit. I hadn't been driving long. And then like Tom said, it bothers you at first, but then I just let it bother me for a long time. But then once you got older, you're like, wow, I have epilepsy and this is affecting people.
Right.
I didn't think about that till like the past 5 to 10 years. Like this I'm having is affecting people. I didn't think about people being traumatized because of my seizures.
Right.
I just thought I have epilepsy. This is going to happen. You guys know it. Get used to it. It's a horrible way to think, but that's how I was going about it. I was just, it took recently, like I said, the past 5 to 10 is when I just figured out, yeah, I got to get control of this because it could be the end of me or it
See you
could
Friday.
be a bad outcome for other people missing me.
Yeah, when I was doing research, just trying to figure out what happened with the driving thing, like talk about being handed things. Apparently, I had a little yellow Mustang in high school, and when I couldn't drive anymore, I must have been using that as leverage to get other people to get me to where I wanted to go. And, payback was ride for a couple hours, bring it back filled up, and, we'll call it even. But then I pulled the accident record and criminal history, and apparently I started getting into accidents and still jumping behind the wheel and taking the fall for that.
Mm.
And that's another way of just finding out your own past, because obviously I wasn't telling family. I'm sure they would have took the keys. I still had some capable parents back then, but they worked a lot.
Ooh.
So that's the
Yeah.
other thing about not remembering, is having to play detective to see what the fuck I was thinking 20 years ago.
Yeah, like I am like so like so like that did kind of give me a little bit of hope because like I remember like my first car I was driving a 1998 Nissan Maxima and it was a sports car and I was driving it from Tallahassee to Seaside, Tallahassee to Tampa, Orlando, and then Orlando.
See you Friday, Melissa.
Bye, Melissa.
See you, Melissa. And then like and then once I remember, I got my Toyota Yaris, and then like I like completely crashed the whole thing. Like I cleared out the whole front side of the thing, and I wasn't telling the family about it. And like now, like I have epilepsy for like 7 years. So 7 years far. So like that kind of that kind of understood like that kind of understood like why I was like having all like why I can drive. So like right now like yeah, it's like right now I'm kind of like in the middle of like wanting to get a car or not get a car now.
Yeah, I don't want to kill anybody. Um, yeah, I know I have seizures. I'm done driving. Um, one time that I did have a seizure while driving, I told myself I could have killed someone on the road or killed someone in the car with me. That's the end of that. I've had cars, I've driven, and yeah, like I said, I was in my early 20s, late teens, buying cars and knew I had epilepsy and just living reckless. But like I said, I had to get older to pay attention to that. I'm having this and it is affecting people. Not can, it is. At the time, it was affecting people and I didn't pay attention to it. I was just like, hey, I have seizures, you know it. So, yeah.
I just wish I live in a more public transit friendly state, well, city rather, because then it'll be at least easier to get around. One of the things that I have kind of a unique experience on, because like I was saying, I'm pretty much a parentified child. My parents, I was trying to go to college, and my mom kept saying she didn't want her insurance to go up. And like I said, I didn't have epilepsy until 2 years ago. So she refused to teach me how to drive. Like everybody in the family was like, that's so stupid. Like, why would you do that? So I didn't learn how to drive till I was 20. I had to take adult driver's courses, like I paid for and everything to learn. And like her reasoning was, since I was going to school, my brother was going to college too, he can just take me. Classes started at 9 a.m. and he'd be getting out of bed at 8:50. So like I had to be hyper independent on myself. And so that's what really, really, really irritates me about my epilepsy, is that I have to be dependent. Like I'm a passenger princess. Not that I'm super mad about it, but hey, here we are. I can't just get up and go on my little Marshall's run, which I say is errand runs, but I'm just sniffing candles in the store. So my life's changed as far as that goes. Thankfully, I have a remote job, but even then, I'm not long-term disability for that, because I don't know when I'm gonna have a seizure on camera, and I can't interact with my clients as much. So yeah, it's just one thing I always was scared of, even when I got diagnosed, was hitting someone. And I always think about pedestrians. I think people tend to forget about pedestrians. And that's one thing I am so scared of, especially just, what if somebody just then so happen, like you save them, kind of thing. And that's even worse if you have epilepsy. Like you can prevent saving that person because they can't see you. Bicycles, motorcycles, like those are things that, of course, that's me, right? Anxious, thinking bigger and bigger about the issue, but it's so unfortunate that this is our life. But luckily, in a lot of ways, we are still able to get what we need at the end of the day. And I try to be mindful of that, and I try to remind myself of that, but it still sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. That's another thing when I think about driving. That's something that reminds me that I have epilepsy. When we were talking earlier about what reminds you, yeah, that I see a car drive by and I'm walking down the street, like, damn, I have epilepsy. I could be in that car or another car.
Are people asking you need a ride? Does that kind of go across your brain too, or anything like that?
I'll be like, I need a ride. Who you asking?
We got Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I love driving games. Anyhow, I got something that says medication while traveling and changing time zones, -6 hours. So I'm currently on 500 milligrams of Keppra twice a day and a tiny amount of lamotrigine, and have fairly mild epilepsy that's under control. I take my meds 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. and I am traveling from Europe to the U.S. on Sunday. My flight takes off at 10 a.m. CEST and lands at 2 p.m. CT. How on earth am I supposed to take my medication? Do I have a bridging dose? I thought of that when I was traveling. I don't know if anybody travels much often, but what I did is, since my flight was at 9 a.m. and I take my pills at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m., I took my pills at 10 a.m. I got on the plane. I had a timer for an hour, then take your medication. And then I put a timer for 12 hours. So then I know how far apart it was. And then it was weird going from East Coast to West Coast, because I left at like 9 in the morning and I don't get there until 2 in the morning the next day, because of the time jump, 3 hours to Atlanta and then 3 hours to Jersey. Yeah, it was a long time jump. So I had to go in between and trying to figure out which time is to take my medication, which it felt like I took it after 4 or 5 hours because of the time zones and the darkness coming and all that. But that's what I suggest. Anybody took a plane and had to figure out their pills and their time zone switches?
I can't remember what I did, but I did have to figure it out when I went to Mexico. And it was like, hold on, when did I take my last pill? And it was just crazy.
Did you have any seizures in Mexico?
No, but I did swim with dolphins.
Oh yeah, that's good. I gotta swim with those dolphins one day. Kate, you got something?
Yeah, I got a post here first on that medication thing. For me, it's 2 hours. I can take medicine within the span of 2 hours and be safe. for the most part. Obviously keeping, that 12-hour difference in between. Right now I'm actually taking them at like 10 and 2, but that's just because my sleep schedule is totally unpredictable. So I'm taking the meds when I know I'm going to be awake, so that there's no chance an alarm goes off and wakes him up and we're all like fucked. And internationally, if it's a short-term trip, I would just set the reminders and stay to your same schedule. If it's a long-term thing, then you would have to talk about like switching up by half an hour and rolling with that for a couple days. So this is a post though. Anybody else have rules for if they have to have a go through a time change? Cool. See ya, Tom, Jason. Good. All right. Okay, this post is in the neurology subreddit. I'm having
Hold on, Kate.
Okay, my bad.
Jason, you got something? You turned your mic on.
Yeah. Like I was gonna say about like I had like a play. I have a pretty good record of a seizure history. I recently had one in South Florida. That was in Pompano. So that was in Pompano. So like I think so like I think like so like I think honestly like with the seizure history I think personally um like seizures will never go away. They'll never go away unless if you eat right and not eat fast food. That is my opinion.
I've been on quite a diet to where sometimes I don't eat anything. I'm not gonna say I don't believe you. I'm not with that. It doesn't work for me because I've ate right and I've not ate right, and I just think it's gonna be certain medications are gonna get you to certain points, and then you're just gonna have seizures. That's what I take it as. Some people they can do the not having it for years, but I think I'm kind of at a point where I'm comfortable with. I got my seizures down to a certain amount. The thing I am worried about is the seizures I'm having where I'm wandering off. Those are my worries more than anything. But yeah, not eating. I don't have real big eating cues, so if I don't think about it, time will pass and I won't eat. And next thing you know, it's 10 o'clock in bedtime. And there's times where I can't force myself to eat, especially when it's 10 o'clock in bedtime. I'm like thinking about bed. I'm not thinking about I gotta go make something, eat something up, go to the kitchen and all that.
Yeah, so this might be something you have to work into your schedule at the beginning of the week. Fix a little something in a 6x6 and be able to just pop that in the air fryer, and that's your meal for the next 2 days.
Yeah, cook enough for leftovers or cook something freezable.
Exactly.
That's an
Or you ask your kids. My son's heating something up for me right now. Told him to put it on 2 minutes.
So funny.
That's one way to do it. I'm already trying to work ways of how to never have to ask my daughter for a ride anywhere. Had to talk with her today about whether she would ever consider joining the military, and they're being for real about this. I can't believe how curriculums are just discussing having like your life figured out at 15 years old. It's talk about pressure. Talk about pressure and like how many more of us are having depression before epilepsy. I don't doubt that pressure has something to do with it. This idea that you have to have everything planned out, laid out, referrals and applications and scholarships and things, and
propaganda.
Selling it to you about joining the military so you have benefits after. Don't
Yep.
mention if you're alive.
Yep. That's the main thing, because like
you're alive, there you go.
They get kind of really, really defensive when you say, oh, you don't want to just join the army, work for a country, and possibly, take people's lives. They're like, how dare you talk about that? Like, that's what's happening. We don't want to just ease into murder. We don't want to just ease into war. Like, the war should be the last thing, the last cost. And don't get me wrong, I am a revolutionary. Some things you have to do, but we do it too much, too fast, and with little
regard for other people's lives.
Regard, perfect word.
Regard,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I just think, and one thing I was looking at was about the 2000s and women's body images. Oh my God, that was a rough time.
Why the hell did No Scrubs just pop into my head?
Oh my God, what a
Anybody else
time.
singing TLC right now?
Not
It
yet.
doesn't.
Not
I don't know
yet.
what the hell girl
Kind
they've
of
been talking
fighting.
about.
Kind of fighting.
Oh my.
Is this
Yeah,
a
that's what
TMI
she's
kind
talking
of
about.
thing?
No.
No,
No.
TLC, it's
This is
totally about body image and
remember when
perception of, you
Oh,
know, who
women's
stands where
body.
in a relationship and, you know, in society in general.
you remember when people didn't like when people had an ass? That's the reality. Like
You
it,
know?
yeah, that's the reality. You have to be a flatback to be taken seriously.
Ladies, can I say something, please?
Please do.
I'm with women 100%. I think that makeup and body image where women feel as though they have to look a certain way, I think is so wrong. I think men are pigs. And I just think it's wrong that ever went that way. My wife, I always told her, honey, you don't have to wear makeup. You don't have to do any of that crap because, number one, we're married. That part's already done and over with.
Right.
And hey, you're not out there, you don't have to impress anybody because you don't have to impress me. We've already there, and I don't think that women should have to have all that pressure on them. I don't think it's right.
It's a way to control us. And it's just very odd. Like you said, I grew up with two personal trainers. My father was a personal trainer and my stepfather was a personal trainer. But my stepfather, he was protective. My dad, whatever, but my stepdad was like, absolutely not. We're not gonna do these kinds of things. We're focusing on actual strength, not aesthetics. Which one matters with your health? My dad, he was I'm 5'8". He was like, we want to get you to size 0. I said, who the fuck? And I was 15.
So personal trainers though, I mean, isn't there some aesthetics in that? I mean, not aesthetics, ethics in that field that, you know, this is for health, not strictly vanity?
That my dad is his own thing. Like that's different. My stepdad is someone who was more so for his own actual health because he was 300 pounds at one point and you will never be able to tell. He lost a lot of weight. He lost so much weight and has gained so much muscle. And Sia is saying the same thing. Am I saying it right? Is it Sia? Okay. So I don't know. Like I unfortunately am trying to get back in the gym because of my epilepsy. I was having focals doing ab workouts and my friend used to work out with me and she said I froze and she thought I was like I froze.
Holding the best plank.
No, not the plank. I wish at least I would.
Were you doing leg lifts?
No, I was doing the what is that ball called that you can also throw against the wall?
Medicine.
Thank you, Kate. Yes, you're my girl. I was in the mid of a
You're throwing a medicine ball?
I was doing like I was lifting like ab workout.
Yeah, they're not all 50 pounds.
Yeah, it was like 10, 15 maybe.
Yeah.
And then I was doing the thing where you lift it, drop, and then go back. And my friend said I froze all of a sudden and stared at this corner. And she said, Courtney, I thought you were judging someone having a bad form. And she's like, I was looking for them. And I was like, oh my God, is it that bad? What are they doing? And I was like, no, girl, that was a seizure. And then I left the gym and was in a car with my boyfriend. And he said, we were arguing and he knew something was wrong because I stopped arguing and forgot what I was saying.
Go ahead, Pookie.
I forgot. But I did remember one thing that I was going to say earlier was, one thing I was going to say earlier is my kids, they don't really understand yet. I mean, they understand I have epilepsy and they're very caring. They think it's the worst thing that can happen to me. They're always caring. They're always trying to do this and that, trying to make sure I'm comfortable and all that. but they don't understand that I ask them so many things because sometimes I just don't have the. I'm not gonna say I don't have the energy. Sometimes I do have the energy, but sometimes I'm like, okay, I got a kid that's in that room with something that I need in that room. Well, let me yell out, and can you grab that because you're already in there, of course.
Burpees. That's what that move is called.
But the other thing was, I'm not even trying to be funny, Court. Does your mom go to the gym?
Maybe we'll get into that
Not
story.
about her mom.
But what'd you say, Tom?
No, I was being funny. I said it's not about your mom.
She goes to the gym now after she saw me doing the gym, and she's retired. And I guess she heard osteoporosis is real. That's what I'm saying. That's a difference.
Okay, I was thinking that maybe she went to the gym because your father and your stepfather are personal trainers. She didn't take in any of that. She just met trainers.
She just, she has a type, first of all. And then the whole thing with that is me and my stepdad was in the kitchen talking about diet and how we eat, because my stepdad is also kind of a low carb person. He noticed the difference when, I feel like everybody kind of knows the difference when they indulge on too much carbs, especially if they're not complex ones, right? So we were talking about that and how much gains we made in the gym. And she made it she like did a victim thing. She was like, no one cares. Like y'all are, and we were like, what are you talking about? And so, no, she did not go to the gym, Pookie. She's in the gym now. Like she not even consistently, I don't think, but she eventually tried to, but she still prefers like walking and stuff. Like that's another thing I hope we can talk about soon. With women, it's perimenopausal issues and epilepsy, because estrogen is a proconvulsant, and that's not fun. And so one thing too, women.
Thank you.
And so another thing is that I lost my train of thought. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to think.
Forgot what I was thinking again. Then I was just gonna say, my son brought me food, so there's that.
What are you eating?
It's just a hot pocket, but it's something when they ask you, are you hungry? And then you'd be like, yeah, sure. Then they bring you a hot pocket. You don't have to ask what, but it's plated, so he knows I'll eat it.
Leave it.
Yeah. Anyways, you said you had something to say when it came to perimenopause and stuff. I just want you to bring it up, talk about it. I don't know much about it because, as you can see,
so epilepsy really affects our minerals, and perimenopausal also affects women's mineral, because that's where osteoporosis come into play and where it's for. So one thing we have to consider is the hormones around that, the minerals surrounding that, our medicine surrounding that, and seizures surrounding that. So we got that plate full. I wish it was a hot pocket though.
Easy.
yeah, it's all right. They know
Good
that.
girl. Good girl.
But
Good girl.
I got something that says I started having seizures a year ago. Everybody thought it was a one-off thing until I had another one. 2 months after that, 2 months after the first one, the doctor diagnosed me with epilepsy. They didn't know what was causing it. I've had 10 in total in a span of a year. 4 of them were in a day while being in the ER. I don't have any symptoms, triggers telling me when I'm about to have them. I've lost my job. I'm not allowed to drive. I really don't know what to do at this point in time. The best my doctors have for me is upping my medicine. They seem to be very mellow with something that's heavily affected my life. Anybody have advice? For having 10 seizures in a year, you gotta maybe change something. I started, I guess I just changed medication that got better for me, and I started caring more about my health. That's what worked for me. You gotta worry about you more. And for a long time, I worried about what other people were doing, and I worried about making sure everybody else was all right, not myself. Once I learned how to put myself first, things got a little better. Could be better, but they've gotten better since I've started putting myself first and worrying about my health and not everybody else's health.
That's what you helped me with too, because like I said, I take care of others and I'm like, oops, you are a whole person too.
Forget about yourself.
Yes. And like I said, I kind of figured out what that was stemmed in. But for sure, when I was really focused those 10 months, I was like hyper focused on myself. My mom was like, you had your water all the time. Like when you order, it was no hesitation. You making accommodations with, of course, your gluten, but also like I would eat cucumbers and hummus. I would eat only a third of the rice is serving when I would eat like Thai or any other Asian food. When I get pho, I will swap the noodles out for the carb-free noodles. Oh, but there's this really cool noodle substitute too, Kate. I don't know if you'd be interested in. It's it's made with egg whites and it's pretty good.
I know I've had substitutes that were made from beans, like black beans and things like that.
I use
like proteins. It's other proteins.
Yeah, there's one that was egg whites, and then my favorite one is actually I can't pronounce the Japanese name from it, but it's the one made from yam fiber, and it's probably like 1 net carb. And I love them. I love it for pho. I love it for pho, and I love it for ramen, but I tend to lean towards pho more because I love brisket and soup. I'm Texan after all, and then I think that it's safer for me to eat because soy sauce is actually not gluten-free. So that's a little fun fact if you guys didn't know that.
Yeah, I think I should probably give that a try because we got oodles and noodles every other day in this house. Okay, so that other note or post rather in the neurology subreddit, title is "Where does the scope of a general neurologist end?" And there's a little flare, I think they call it, that says residency here. I'm having a hard time really grasping where the territory of a general neurologist ends and a subspecialist begins. Is it entirely dependent on the provider? Epilepsy. Should a general neurologist be able to read EEGs comfortably and manage patients on multiple ASMs and refractory epilepsy? Neuromuscular and neuroimmuno. Should a general neurologist be able to manage patients with severe neuromuscular and neuroimmunological conditions and start IV infusion therapies? On movement, should a general neurologist be able to interpret brain MRIs in an atypical Parkinson's patient, order DAT scans, etc.? Easily differentiate between Parkinson's and Parkinson's-like syndromes like MSA, start an HD patient on tetrabenazine. Additional question, do insurance companies require patients to see a subspecialist for starting medications? Like if a general neurologist wanted to start Ocrevus, do they typically require a patient to see a neuroimmunologist? So what
I'll
is
be back. I
everybody's
gotta
take on
eat.
this one?
Starving.
You enjoy.
So,
I would say that obviously I would have more confidence in a general neurologist who could perform more specific tasks, especially related to epilepsy. But I don't know how to
think-
respectfully ask them to prove it.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to have them prove it, but I think a general neurologist should be knowledgeable at least a little bit about everything that comes under the neurology spectrum. And then if it needs more work, then he can refer you to a more specialist like an hepatologist, you know?
But that's the thing. I mean, if you have the general neurologist who's capable of reading an EEG, rather than refer you to the neurologist when you've had seizures, haven't been able to catch one on an EEG, or you have caught one on an EEG and that general neurologist can't even read it, they can't send you to the neurologist or the epileptologist with a diagnosis or get you
Yeah.
started on at least sending you home with a rescue medication if you know you have epilepsy today in society and you
Yeah.
go to a general neurologist, they might be able to see it too, but you still can't leave with a diagnosis. And that to me is bullshit. If you bring an EEG and an MRI from the ER to your neurologist, because it's a lot harder to get an appointment with an epileptologist before the neurologist, then they should be able to start treatment. They
Yeah.
should be actually
Yeah.
capable to help you. That's
They
my
should.
opinion.
And then they should be able to help you, you know, like when I saw my previous neurologist, like the reference was within a month, to the next, someone with more skill than he was. And that's what I was trying to get to at. It was like, okay.
Yeah, so like you're saying, just the complex cases.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, what you said, Em?
Me?
Yeah, it looked like your hand was up before.
It was, yeah. I'm really grainy. Sorry about that. Yeah, okay. I have a personal story because my neurologist still will not diagnose me. I sent her an email asking about my EEG before I went to the EMU so I could have questions for them. She responded to me thinking I was an epilepsy doctor, and she said, I don't know how. She basically said, I know what you're saying. I just don't know how to explain it to Emma, the patient, meaning she thought I was explaining the EEG. My point is that it would really help if neurologists could have some understanding, because then she denied a rescue med and I had to go to my therapist to do that. So I think, I don't know what other words that post included. I didn't understand most of that. But the basics of understanding an EEG would definitely be helpful. Yes.
Yeah, the part that most applied to us was that second paragraph about epilepsy. The next 3 paragraphs were other systemic issues, like neuroimmuno is something like diseases that people have. It's immunological conditions that people go to a neurologist for, but again, they can't start IV infusion therapies. Like they're not equipped or they don't know how. I don't know where it ends, but then the movement one is things like Parkinson's that people go to neurologists for, but again, they can't differentiate between a more common illness like Parkinson's and something called MSA. So that's what this person is trying to decide. Obviously, they're a medical student about to start a residency, and they're trying to decide if they're literally going to have to just learn too much to be a general neurologist. So that's why they're going system by system and saying, am I going to have to be able to learn, or am I going to have to learn more in order for an insurance company to pay me on this visit if I'm not able to start Ocrevus? It's, yeah, so they're just literally asking the logistics of, is this worth it? What's up, Pookie?
Yeah, so when she started talking about her neurologist not want to diagnose her, I got something here about diagnosis, and it says, "How do I get diagnosed?" And usually, I love asking these questions when Anne is here, because she'll make sure you get diagnosed, as we see. It says, about 6 weeks ago, I'm a 32-year-old female. I started experiencing the sudden and intense sensation of my brain crawling backwards in my skull with an electrical feeling all over my scalp. It's usually so intense that I go, whoa, extra O's and extra A's, to myself, because it feels like I took drugs that just hit me. The sensation lasts from anywhere between 30 to 90 seconds, and I feel pretty dazed and sometimes even dizzy afterwards, and need to lie down somewhere dark and quiet. Around this time, I was diagnosed with the cavernoma on my right frontal lobe, and the doctor brought up the possibility of this experience being a seizure. I've had a 3-day EEG done where they tried to trigger a seizure, but nothing happened. However, docs also said that it's not the best diagnostic tool, as it often misses signs of epilepsy in people with cavernoma like mine. Has anyone experienced something similar? And how did you get diagnosed with seizure disorder? I'm also curious if these experiences could be something else entirely. They all sound like seizures personally. Yeah, got to get third and fourth and second opinions and all that stuff. That's how I feel, because one person could say this and another person, like I said, could say that. I usually do the best of three. Maybe like the NBA Finals, the best of seven. You know, never know how many people you'll need to change your mind. But go ahead, Em.
Get a nanny cam. Way easier to just show them.
Right.
Also get a nanny cam because like what helped especially for me was I showed it to my therapist because she wouldn't give me a diagnosis before, well, she still won't, before I get a neurology diagnosis because it can work against you. So I say get a therapist for sure. Explain what's going on if you can get something on camera. And then she was able to like write specifically in the notes and then send a letter saying like I needed to see a neurologist like yesterday because they're happening at night. And if you can't get, because it can be difficult to get a diagnosis, see other doctors, like see your primary, and get coached from a therapist and from other people around here on how to talk about them. I also, it sounds like this person already did an EEG, but when I was at the EMU, they specifically they like ruled out on my notes. I think it's called FND. After I explained what was going on with my neurologist who wouldn't diagnose me. Yeah, so I'm a little bit like out of it. But I would get other doctors also to help back you up, just in case, because this to me does sound like a seizure. I mean, I don't know, but you want to treat that as soon as possible. I think it said this person is in their 30s. And yeah, just get a bunch of other doctors on your side if you can, and get a nanny cam, document everything.
Right.
So just a
how's
little
your
background, the
sensitivity?
cavernoma, you guys, did the post actually explain what a cavernoma was?
No, it didn't.
Okay.
You tell me.
So I'm seeing a cluster of abnormal blood vessels in the brain or spinal cord, and that would only show up on a CT or an MRI, not the EEG. So especially if they're having seizure-like symptoms, even once recorded on a nanny cam, they want you to have that proof on an EEG. The cavernoma might be the cause. So that would definitely be a case where you want all the evidence and a capable professional who can make the decision of, is this in a part of your brain where we could go that ablation route of just, taking that out entirely? Or is this in a, too important part of the brain where we can't cut you open and we're going to have to get you on the treadmill of meds and finding the right balance to control these seizures from this other potentially deadly condition?
Forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I was going to say, Em, do you have the sensitivity turned all the way up on your nanny cam? I got my
Yeah,
sensitivity turned
yeah.
all the way up on mine, and it lets me know every time I turn my head and everything. I have to turn my what's it called? I have to turn my notifications off at night because it'll go off all night every time I turn over.
You got any cats? Because you just see them walk into the scene and walk off the scene a million times.
No, I got a dog, but I keep him off the bed, so that's pretty much work for me. I got something here. It says, OMG. The seizure I had on Friday night was because I was all out of Fycompa, a 4 milligram tablet. Thankfully, I was able to get refilled after pushing at the pharmacy. What is it about these pharmacy techs who feel the need to explain to me about my medication? That's the question. I mean, seriously, yes, I know it's a controlled substance. I also know that it's job to keep me from having a seizure. So do me a favor and I'll fill the prescription so I don't have another one. But the question was, what is it about these pharmacy techs that make them feel like they need to explain my medication to me? First of all, to this person, I'd rather the pharmacy tech explain everything to me because I haven't got that. But anybody else's thoughts on that?
If it's a controlled substance, they can't fill it without explaining it first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's certain substances they
Yeah.
have to explain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
certain things they have to explain, like the excopry they had to explain to me, even though me and my doctor had like a long explanation about it and everything. They still had to do that. Same thing with benzos and everything.
Yeah.
Even rescue meds.
Yeah, I've never had them come to me and it's like, oh, hey, about this. There's always like some label on the bag, and then they just give my meds, sign for it, and I'm off. But that's interesting. It's only controlled substances. I would like to
I
be
think it
aware.
depends on the pharmacist also.
Say
I
that
was gonna
again.
say the state.
I think it depends on the pharmacist or maybe the state. I know, like where I go, they always say, "Don't take this when you're taking, your heart medication or, something like that." They'll always go over that with me. And the pharmacists know a lot more than the doctors about the medication.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with controlled substance, they're supposed to check for ID to make sure it's you too. So also.
Yeah,
Got
Jeff
something
called
to
it. You were right, Jeff, about the pharmacy. Because it looks like there is no
Yeah.
federal law, but it does vary between pharmacies and okay, states may have varying requirements for patient counseling. Sounds
Yeah.
like if that would fall on the doctor though. If the doctor is about to prescribe it to you, they would probably be the ones responsible for that, especially on these mailing pharmacies.
I don't know.
But
Has your doctor ever explained anything about your meds?
it's been so long since I switched it, and I'm on the mail order, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've never got an explanation like about the pills. Like, I'm gonna give you these, it'll do this. It's always
Right.
like, I think you should take this. Already writing out the prescription before they even tell me what it is. Here, go to the pharmacy and get this. It's
Right.
never been so do you know this is gonna do this?
Check
I
this
wish
out.
I would have got
For
that. Yeah.
Medicaid patients, pharmacists are required to offer counsel, like literally say, do you have any questions? But there's different rules for Medicaid patients versus private health patient, private insurance. That's fucked up.
What are the
That's
Isn't it the
rules?
literally a
whole healthcare
chance.
system?
I mean, that's a chance to catch a medication interaction. Part of that
Mhm.
speech that they give you is this medication could kill you if you take this one with it. Or, in my case, like with the levetiracetam and crappy, whatever that other one is, the risk for address is doubled when you're on both of them at the same time. Apparently they didn't have to say that since I was probably on Medicaid when I started it. My Medicare only started
Oh.
like last year.
Yeah, I had that
That's
talk
another
with
eye opener.
my doctor because I'm on clonazepam and they were prescribing the excopry, and I was like, okay. And even though I went into the office like pretty much wanting to get off of the clonazepam, but yeah, like from what I was reading online, it's a dangerous mix together too. And I asked the pharmacy, and they were like, "Yeah, it's dangerous, but your doctor prescribed you, so."
Yeah, I mean 9 times out of 10 it'll be the risk outweighs the reward. I mean reward outweighs the risk, so take your meds. But every now and then, if the doctor didn't know about you recently starting this high blood pressure medication, then obviously as we all start getting these comorbidities, it'll be harder and harder to keep track of more meds. So the pharmacy might actually be the ones that are kind of have the whole story, especially since you all know these specialists aren't always willing to work with each other. You have one specialist on one medical field and their medical group. You go to the hospital for the neurologist, but you got to go to the clinic for, somebody else. Then the wires can get crossed easily, especially when it comes to medications.
Yeah. I got something here. It says musicians is spelled wrong, but it says musicians and songwriters. Hi, this is probably super specific, but I figure I can't be the only person here that plays and writes music. I had my first real seizure last July, and after a lot of trying to be heard on a matter of subjects, we finally got to the bottom of most of it. And I really feel like back to normal now. The most consistent reminder that I am an epileptic is from the folks closest to me who are constantly asking if I am, and I really am. I feel very in control of my situation, and I have found a lot of answers in this group that I would never have found from my neurologist. But that's another thing. Before I was officially diagnosed, before I was officially designated epileptic, I wrote songs and played the guitar. Not a ton, but I would actually usually crank out 4 to 5 songs a month on average, and about 25% made it out of the demo phase and became songs that actually got played for anyone besides my dogs. I played shows regularly. I had a band for a while, and I was really consistent with my output. Inspiration struck when it struck, and I never thought of much. New records by favorite songwriters or going to a show would often kickstart my process sometimes, but it was still really consistent most of the time. Since last July, nothing, almost zero at all. I will get a line here or there, or pick through a new riff from time to time, but that's all. And nothing sticks. I feel like I have never written a song before, and it's starting to frustrate me in a way that makes me want to quit trying. I try to keep myself committed to playing shows, so I keep trying and hoping it clicks, but nothing happens. I have to force myself to prep for shows just to keep my hands up to speed and my consciousness intact. I love playing the shows, but I loathe having to practice when it's just the same stuff over and over and over and over. My wife has been awesome and keeps reminding me that we are really busy and our businesses are doing well and it's all going to be fine. But it's just feelings particularly difficult. And it's like the last thing I still struggle with. Anybody else play an instrument or create music, art in general, and just really, really struggle? Noteworthy. I was a late addition. I was a late addition to the club at 42, and my neurologist has been no help on this. Well, she's not been much help at all. Hoping someone here might have this experience. I made beats, but I never really made like music or wrote music. So making beats is just kind of listen to the sounds and then think about what sound might go with something that you like. Anybody else wrote music or had anything that epilepsy helped them forget?
So was there any muscle memory to DJing?
Yeah, there is. But
Yeah, like
most
you
of
know, like
it,
I do. Hold on, or like, yeah, like for me, like I do music.
oh, go ahead. What's your story? Was it hard afterwards?
So like, okay, so like for me with epilepsy, like for me like doing like me having epilepsy. I mean like it's hard. I mean it's hard at first, but like I try to not think about it. I try not to think about it
Can you
because
pet
like
Coda? She's being really good.
because like I write songs because like, I write songs. I've been writing songs since like almost 20 years now. So like almost 20 years now. So like 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 dealing with epilepsy, like I talk about I write about it and then I record it and then I record it to play guitar. So like then play guitar on it. So like yeah, so like when I write songs and record on guitars and record it on like FL Studio or Ableton. I mean, like I don't know what software that he has, but like I think I think personally with like if you write a song, like I would say like write a subject down and then and then like write the whole song out. Like I mean like that's how I would do it completely with epilepsy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking with piano. There was only I think the only one I can remember anyway, instruments, and I had this like Titanic thing, and it was like 3 pages long, and I mastered that apparently in like elementary school. But now I can play the first like 10 seconds. I can play the Flintstone song, and that's the only thing I can remember. Total muscle memory, but I can still tell you like the names of the keys. And I haven't seen a keyboard in a couple of years now, but I could probably still do that. I don't think I could read music, but I'm sure that's the kind of thing that might come back since it's definitely stored in like a different part of the brain.
Hmm.
So
I
as
like
far as music goes, I mean, what do you think would make it better for that guy? Like just writing it down?
yeah.
Okay.
I would say like just I would say like just write it down instead of like freestyling. I mean like if you're a rapper and you freestyle if you have rapper and epilepsy, I mean like then I would say like go for it. But I mean like your best bet would just to like just write it down.
Yeah, so this guitarist in the 40 doing in his 40s doing gigs probably can knows notes to read music and be able to write it down hopefully.
Hey, do you guys think, you guys who play music, do you think that performing it, like the lights and that can stress some people out? Do you think that might have something to do with why he's having problems?
It might be. I mean, like it might be because like I performed at shows before. I did one at the Bark. I did one at the Bark here in Tallahassee, and I did the majority of the shows in Tallahassee were basically with lights. So like we're basically with lights and stuff like that. So like it could be the problem. It could be.
A lot of things in those environments, crowded, noise, smoke, any strong scents
Mosh
can be a
pits,
trigger for some.
mosh pits. That
Yeah,
that could be like
depending on what he's playing.
yeah, that could be a huge factor. I mean like I mean like most of my music is basically like punk folk rock and punk folk rock and then like grunge music. So
I was curious. I was wondering what kind of music you play to get gigs up in Tallahassee.
I mean like you
That's
can
cool.
like I mean like in Tallahassee you can do like any genre. I mean like they have dubstep, house music and stuff like that. So I mean like that could be like so with Tallahassee they can play like any genre of gigs.
That's cool.
Um, I got something here that says olfactory hallucinations. Does anyone ever have olfactory hallucinations that don't lead to anything? I'll have a smell follow me that no one else can smell for like a day or two. I have tonic-clonic seizures, but I haven't had one in 2 years. But now and then these imaginary smells happen. I've heard about the smells, but following me for a day or two, I haven't personally been through that part. Um, Yeah, it's
I
like
was
a
gonna
bad
say it
headache.
sounds like an aura. That's it. The
It
phantom
sounds like an aura.
smells.
Yeah, I've heard people say during auras they get like a certain smell. I get a like the metallic taste, but hallucinations I don't necessarily get. Anybody? Thoughts, opinions? Em, I see you got your hand up.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe they're having migraines. I don't know if I think sometimes those are related. Migraine auras can last a long time though.
Yeah, I pray I don't get the migraine auras. For now, I've been good. B12 by Nature's Made has been working. It's got me through my head problems. Like I haven't had really foggy times, or I'm not gonna say I haven't had headaches, but yeah, the foggy moments and the focals pretty much unheard of these days. So yeah. Somebody said lamotrigine and wake up problems. Hey, party people, are there any other people here who take lamotrigine and have had problems waking up? I take 600 milligrams a day, 300 milligrams in the morning, and 300 in the evening. I'm 20 years old and therefore at maximum dose. I don't wake up in the morning from various alarm clocks. To be honest, I don't sleep that much either. If I have an appointment that is really important to me, I often actually manage to get up, but it doesn't happen that often. Is there anyone here who has the same problems? Um, did anyone get that there wasn't really a question there?
I didn't get one either.
Yeah, with the wake up problems, I sleep and I wake up when the alarm goes off. Pretty much. That's it. Nobody? No experiences being able to can't get up?
Not on the lamotrigine.
I got something here. Oh, this is something that similar to something we've read before. It says, I have a 21-year-old. Oh, I'm a 21-year-old female. I have a partner, he's 22, who's had epilepsy since he's been 14. She's had four out of 6 in all seizures with me present. They're tonic-clonic, grand mal every time without warning. Oh, that's what I didn't get. It said I'm a 21-year-old female with a partner that's 22, trans female. She's had 4 out of the 6 in all seizures with me present. They're tonic-clonic every time without warning, and they always end in a 911 call. I've taken a lot of time to learn how to properly take care of her while this is happening. CPR, if that hopefully doesn't ever have to come in handy, and how to care for her after. But there's one thing I still don't know. What do I say after? I know obviously not to explain what she did or how she looked because she isn't present at all during or after them, but maybe from epileptics. What do you need to hear? Might sound like a baby, but I'd like to hear you're okay. You're gonna be all right. I guess that kind of just helps me know that I'm back and I look all right. Some people are like, you're okay, you're back now. Usually I'm not back, but that's a good thing to hear that you can see that I might be a little back or something. What do you guys need to hear?
I just need to hear nothing's broken. You're
Mm.
fine. You didn't bust a window or anything major.
I just need to hear like I'm right here and basically settle down. I'm with you.
Yeah, that's me. I'm here, I'm with you, everything's all right.
On
Calm
this one
down.
though, I mean they would know this is definitely a question to ask the partner. What makes you feel best? Because you don't even know a lot of times once the seizure's over how when they're really back. to the point where they're going to actually remember. Because even after the absence, I don't remember a good 15, 20 minutes after that. And that's when family says, you know, they did the wet rag on the face, or daughter's got away with slapping me a couple times, and I didn't remember. But they sure as hell went ahead and proceeded to make sure that I was all the way there.
Jeff, what do you need to hear?
You know, I don't have chronics except at night. So I don't really need to hear anything.
Go back to sleep.
I need to sleep.
Gotcha.
I guess that, you know, that's it. I don't
Yeah,
have all
that
those
pretty much answers it.
experiences. I'm sorry.
Pretty much everything. I said that pretty much answers it.
Yeah.
Go back to sleep. I need rest.
Right.
Another
Jocelyn?
thing about them being transgender, though, you don't know what other meds they're taking, like the hormones and things. Because I was looking at this medical article about how apparently like transgender people fall under the radar when they become epilepsy patients, because doctors are not willing to treat them, since they're choosing, you know, they're voluntarily undergoing the like taking the pills basically to be transgender, and that's definitely going to mess with their seizures. So it sounds like they have a problem a lot of times finding a provider willing to treat them when they're on. It's just a complicated case to start with. So it sounds like obviously talk to the partner and make sure you definitely have the right doctor.
Well, I live by myself, and the first one, I mean, I didn't know I had them. I felt really out of it, and I just got really tired, and I tried texting people, and I couldn't do it, and I didn't understand why. And then I got really tired and I took a nap. And I still didn't know I'd had a seizure, and I was really injured, and I was really confused. I texted my neighbors and said, "You guys, I took a nap and I got really injured taking a nap. Can someone bring me crutches?"
And it's like that nap hurt.
Yeah, I'm like, I literally text my neighbors. I'm like, "You guys, somehow I sprained my ankle and injured my knee taking a nap. Can someone bring me my crutches?"
Right.
I don't know what I need. Help.
Em, what do you need to hear? What brings you back? What comforts you?
Well, I'm like Jeff. I was trying to think of an answer, but most of mine happen at night, so I don't know. Good luck waking me up.
Right. Jason, what about you?
What was the question?
What's comforting? What can someone say to help you feel better after a seizure?
Man, man. I would say that I would say like if my friends would come and they would be there for me. Hopefully they would say like, man, like, hey Jason, it's gonna get better. Don't worry about it too much.
Yeah, I feel you. Someone there to let me know everything's okay and calm me down if I roar up towards an ambulance or anything. Sorry. One of the comments is, I like to hear that somebody is there with me. Like, it's okay. It's me, blank. It's me, blank. I always apologize profusely for some reason, and everyone tells me it's okay. Honestly, reassurance and kind of being soft voiced, not panicky, gentle will help. That's a good way to put it. But I mean, for you guys that aren't having them only in your sleep, somebody try to tell you that in your sleep. Probably like, let me go to sleep.
I thought of something else somebody could say. You want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Yeah, that's something I wish somebody would say. Or just bring me a sandwich.
Yeah.
Someone says, it's a different question. I don't want to be at this sleep study anymore. Any advice on speed running a seizure? I've done the photo stimulation and the hyperventilation, which got me close. And I'm a grand mal total of 9 hours of sleep from Sunday night and last night. Then gonna stay up until 2 a.m. again tonight and sleep till 6. I'm just drinking a fuckload of coffee and soda. Weird, I know, but thanks. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but thanks for the advice. I said, oh my goodness, or something else. Ay, ay, ay. Any advice on having a seizure? Don't take my meds, I guess. That's what this person's asking. Any advice on having a seizure when you don't want to stay at the EMU, I'm guessing? Speed running a seizure.
Get really stressed.
Research
Do they
your
know their
triggers.
trigger?
That's what I was gonna say. Research your triggers. Figure out when you have them. Start taking notes. Narrow it down to why and cut it out.
Pretty much my meds. Don't take the meds, you're gonna have a seizure. And it also goes the opposite way. You take the meds, you're gonna have a seizure. So yeah, it's all over the place with this epilepsy stuff. I can't really tell you how to have a seizure because I try to avoid it at all times. So
I think we all try to avoid having a seizure.
I'm just grateful for not having to have too many specialists. Like a lot more comorbidities would mean having to get doctors that are not only willing to treat you, but willing to work with each other to actually get you on like the best treatment plan possible. And that's few and far between.
yeah, I'm happy that mine's is to a certain degree of a certain amount of people. Don't have a bunch of different doctors working all over the place, not working with each other, and so on.
I'm on Jefferson Health, so they can see each other's notes on my chart and stuff. And like, okay, well, this is my gastroenterologist or whatever the one for the liver is. So, let's see what she says, and we'll work from there.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.